Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you step by step through each of the ABRSM theory grades. We're going to have a look at this new sample paper provided by ABRSM to show you the newly revised exam paper layout. You can find the link in the description below to show you where to print this paper off. It's freely available. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets that are available in US letter or A4 to accompany each step of this series. All the information that you need to know for these grades can be found within these documents that I've provided. There's also a page with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and I work with you step by step through every exercise in the music theory and practice workbooks. You can also access information about some books that I have available. I've written How to Take Your ABRSM Music Theory Exam, and it's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to best make use of the time when you're actually sitting in the exam room and working through your exam paper. And so if you grab your pencil, make sure you've got a sharp pencil. You need to be writing in pencil really because it says answers must be written clearly and neatly, otherwise marks may be lost. So be prepared to have an eraser to hand, and you will also need a ruler. And I do suggest that you have a go of this paper on your own first of all. It's okay if you make some mistakes. It's always better to learn by your mistakes. So I do hope that you've had a go of this first, and then I'll work through it with you afterwards and we can check through the answers together. So let's press on with question 1. It says to add the time signature to each of these 5 examples. So we're going to have 5 separate time signatures for each of these little extracts here. And our first job is to decide which is the bottom number. Are we counting in crotchet beats or quarter notes, or minim beats, half notes, or quaver beats, eighth notes? Now I suggest that this last bar here tells us quite clearly that we're going to be counting in minim beats or half notes, so our bottom number is 2. And so now we just need to figure out how many. So we've got those 2 make 1 minim beat or 1 half note, and then we've got another one there and another one there. So our time signature is 3/2. Let's have a look at the next one. Now this next one we've got a clue straight away because everything's all beamed together. And we can only count in quaver beats or eighth notes, otherwise there's an incomplete bar. There won't be enough to make 1 beat otherwise. So our bottom number is 8. And we can see that we've got 1 there. Those 2 make another eighth note or quaver beat, and those 2 make another, so that's 3. We can see that again here in this bar to double check. There's 1. That's 1 1/2 with this other half of an eighth or quaver there. Makes 3 again, so 3/8. There we go. This next one now, we can see straight away that we've got 2 crotchet beats. There's 1 crotchet beat or quarter note, there's another quarter note, and so we'll have to be counting in crotchet beats because you wouldn't really have 4/8. It's not necessary. 2/4 will do the job for us. This next one, I think we've perhaps got a choice. As far as I'm concerned, this is best counted in minim beats or half notes because we've got 1 there, and then we know that 3 in the time of 2 gives us another one. So we can see that we've got 2/2. We've got the same here, only this one we've got as a rest and then another one in the triplet. I would suggest 2/2. You could argue for 4/4. Mathematically that would still be the same, but I think it lends itself better to 2/2 there. The next one, let's see what we're counting in here. And we can tell by the way these are grouped that we're counting in crotchet beats or quarter notes because we've got 1 group there, 1 group there, and then 3 in the time of 2, which shows we've got another group there. So we've got 1, 2, 3 groups of crotchet beats or quarter notes. So 3/4 gives us the answer. Let's move on to the next question. So question number 2. It says above each of the notes here, above each note write a higher note to form the named harmonic interval. Now we have to write the interval above. If we drop an octave, we change the interval. We're always counting upwards, and we're creating a harmonic interval, which means they must come one on top of the other. If we put them one after the other, that's a melodic interval, which isn't specifically what the question's asked for. And it says, as shown in the first answer, so if you just follow their suit, you know you're not going to go far wrong. The key is F major, so we're always counting F as 1. The only mistake that you can really make is to forget to count the key note F as 1. If you count upwards straight away, you'll be a degree out. So let's carry on. Here we go. So we're in F major. We counted from this bottom F in the bass clef. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. F, G, A, B, C. That's our 5th. Again in the bass clef, we counted from a higher F. 1, 2, 3 is the line. F, G, A. We're in the treble clef and we're quite high up already now, so we're going to need some ledger lines. So be careful you count line, space, and so on. So we've got 1 is the line, 2 is the space, 3 is the line, 4 is the space. I've gone a bit wonky there, let's do that again. So we've actually gone F, G, A, B, B flat. The key signature takes care of the flat though, so there we go, that's sorted. Treble clef F, we're in a lower F now, so we shouldn't run out of space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're just 1 off an octave, just 1 below top F. Now here we're quite high up in the bass clef and we're going to need to write an octave, so we're going to have some ledger lines. So we need F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. So we're going to need those ledger lines. Let's double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there we go. So that's that one complete. So if we just remove the page, move on to the next page. So we're now on to question 3. Just tidy that up. Okay, let's see what question 3 asks us. Add the correct clef, so there's the first action point, and any necessary sharp or flat signs to make each of these scales named below. Do not use key signatures. So we need to bear the key signature in mind, but then we need to add it as an accidental or as accidentals in the plural. So A major, of course, must begin and end on A, and for that to be the case, this is treble clef. We've gone below middle C, C, B, A, and the space is spelled face, F, A, C, E, so we know that's correct. Now A major would have a key signature of F, C and G sharp, so I would always write these key signatures out before you even start the paper. And so now we need to just add these in as accidentals. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. Remember the sharp comes before the note, we need to note before you've played it. C sharp, G sharp. That's now correct. Let's look at the next scale. So it's asked us to make this into E minor, and it's asking us which form of the minor scale you've used. I always suggest that you use harmonic for grade 2, because that's the same set of notes ascending and descending, so there's only one set of notes to learn. It's the most accessible one for grade 2. And so we need to first of all write the clef. So for this to be in E, and E, all cows eat, it's got to be bass clef. Now E minor is related to G major, which would have an F sharp, and then we've got to have the raised 7th as well. So let's find our F sharp. First of all, E, F, good boys here football, there's our F sharp. And then we need to raise the 7th. Remember we're descending, so it's 8, 7, going down, counting backwards, there's our D sharp as a raised 7th. And that's that question complete. Let's have a go at the next one. It says, give the letter name of each of the notes marked with a star And they've generously reminded us to include the sharp or flat sign where necessary. So we've just got to be careful which clef and then our key signature. So we're in the treble clef. And if you weren't sure, they've even given you the first one, so you can always work it out from here. It's every good boy as the lines. And we've got a key signature of B flats, E flats and A flats. So we just need to bear that in mind. The spaces spell face in treble clef, F-A-C-E. However, that's not quite complete yet because it's an E flat because of your key signature. Every good, that's a G. Spaces spell face, F-A, but it's A flat, remember, otherwise that's going to lose you a mark if you forget your key signature. F, that's not affected by the key signature. F-A-C, same again. Now we've got middle C this time, so it's another C. And then we've got a D. And then we've got an E flat, remember, don't forget your key signature. There we go. Next part of this question, how many bars contain only crotchets or quarter notes? So just crotchets there, that's one bar. Just crotchets there, that's another bar. That's quaver, so that won't do. Or eighth notes. Crotchets or quarter notes here, so it's 3 bars. Just a little bit of observation there, making sure that you know what a crotchet or a quarter note is. Let's have a look at question number 5. So it's asking us to write the time values in order taken from this selection here, from the longest to the shortest. So they've given us this first one here, that's your semi-breve, which is worth 4 beats or whole note. So we know that next after that would be the minim with a dot after it, a dotted half note or dotted minim, which is worth 3. So we can add that. So let's eliminate that one. Now, these are halves, 3/4, quarters and so on. So there's our next one, which is a full beat, a crotchet or quarter note. So that's next. Now then, we've got to decide. We know that this one's going to be the shortest, really, because that's your 16th note or your semi-quaver. So it's going to be one of these. However, remember, a dot after a note makes it half as long again. So we know that it's this dotted quaver or dotted 8th note that comes next. So we can eliminate that. Now comes the quaver or the 8th note on its own. And then finally we get the semi-quaver or 16th note that comes next. There we go then, that's that answer completed, and we'll leave the next questions for the next video. I do hope that's been helpful to you. If you can give me a like, that'd be fab. That'd be encouraging to me, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's loads more to come. Please do go to sharonbill.com and make use of all the information that's there to help you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.